I love a good home equity moment as much as anyone. But what if I told you that growing home value could come with a surprise tax bill that makes you wish you'd never painted that shiplap accent wall? Welcome back. I'm Sarah Breck, your Boise real estate bestie and data decoder, and today we're unpacking BRR's July market recap. We're talking June stats here, plus a not so fun twist in the tax code that's catching a lot of Idaho homeowners off guard. If you own a home or want to one day, stick around because between rising sales, tax traps, and some wild projections for 2035, there's a lot to cover. But don't worry, I'll keep it casual, clear, and full of side commentary. Let's dive in. Section 1, the $250K problem. So here's the thing nobody talks about when your home doubles in value: capital gains tax. Let's roll it back to 1997. Titanic was in theaters, Beanie Babies were an asset class, and Congress rolled out a tax break for homeowners. $250K in profit tax-free if you're single, $500K if you're married and filing jointly. It was generous. It was meant to protect everyday people from paying taxes just for living in a rising market. Fast forward to today, home prices are up 260% nationwide. Boise has been on fire. Hello, appreciation. And yet, those tax limits, still the same, not adjusted for inflation, not updated once. If they had kept pace, they'd be $660K for individuals and $1.32 million for couples. But nope, Congress basically handed you a $250K coupon in '97 and said, use this forever. Except now a loaf of bread costs $7 and your house is worth 4 times what you paid for it. So what does that mean for Idaho homeowners? According to the National Association for Realtors, 54.9% of Idaho homeowners are now over the $250K limit. Another 13.8% are over the $500K joint filer limit. That's almost 300,000 households statewide who could own capital gains tax they didn't see coming. And this isn't just theoretical. It's showing up at the closing table. 1 minute you're calculating your net proceeds, and the next you're Googling, do tiers count as a deductible? Section 2, Idaho's tax curveball. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but Idaho's a low tax state, right? Sure, but capital gains in Idaho are taxed as regular income. So when you exceed that exemption, you're on the hook for federal capital gains tax, 5.8% state income tax, and a whole lot of ibuprofen. On average, homeowners over the cap in Idaho are getting taxed on $162,121 for individuals and $173,491 for couples. And I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of money. Those must be luxury homes. Nope. This is happening to regular folks. People who bought in the early 2000s, people who owned for 15 plus years, people who are now accidentally millionaires with a tax problem. So now homeowners are sitting down with their agents like, can I sell? Yes, but it'll cost you. Then I guess I'll just die here. Section 3, the stay put penalty. And this, my friends, is what the economists are calling the stay put penalty. It's the idea that you've gained so much value in your home, you're finally disincentivized to move. You want to downsize, relocate, maybe cash out and travel a little, and then you realize, wait, I'd owed $50K in taxes just to make that happen. Cue the locked doors, pull the curtains, and that weird psychological moment where your house becomes a golden handcuff. In a place like Boise, where appreciation has been bonkers, it's becoming a real drag on the market. Even in areas with huge buyer demand, there's a shortage of listings because people are saying, no thanks, I'll stay put, which ironically just pushes prices up more. Section 4, the 2035 problem. Want to know where this is headed? By 2035, NAR projects 93.7% of Idaho homeowners will exceed the $250K exemption. 68.1% will exceed the $500K joint cap. That's basically everyone. You, me, your parents, that friend who's been living in the same mid-century ranch in the North End since 1992. She's toast, especially in Ada and Kootenai counties where appreciation is high and aging population is growing. For folks hoping to find retirement by tapping into equity, this tax bill could seriously erode their profit. Moral of the story, equity doesn't equal liquidity, not when the IRS is lurking in the shadows like, you thought that was yours? Cute. Section 5, reform incoming. There is hope though. Housing advocates are pushing for the More Homes on the Market Act, a bipartisan bill that would double the exemption limits and tie them to inflation. Finally. As NAR's Shannon McGain put it, equity shouldn't be a trap, it should be a stepping stone. Until that passes, talk to your agent, talk to your CPA, talk to your therapist. honestly, because making a move in this market takes strategy. Section 6, consumer confidence and buyer behavior. And speaking of strategy, let's talk about buyer energy. Migration into Idaho ticked up this year, 7.5% in 2023 to 8.3% in 2024. So yes, people are still moving here, but confidence, not as strong. The Consumer Confidence Index dropped to 93 in June, down 5.4 points from May. That's the second lowest reading since February 2021, and just a hair above the pandemic low of 86. Translation, buyers are cautious, big purchases are being postponed, and more people are saying, I want to buy, but maybe not right now, let's wait and see. Section 7, Micron, Fred Meyer, and growth. Still, there's major growth coming. Micron is building a second fab plant in Southeast Boise on top of its new R&D facility and water treatment project. They're planning to fill in that entire corridor with buildings and parking. They're expecting to beat their New York mega fab to the punch. Yes, it's called a mega fab. Micron alone could bring 90,000 direct and indirect jobs nationwide. That's no small ripple. Also, Fred Meyer announced a 155,000 square foot store in Caldwell, 250 new jobs, breaking ground in spring of 2026, opening 2026 or 2027. Section 8, Ada County Stats Deep Dive. Okay, let's hit the local market stats. Median sales price, $580,000. That's up 1.1% year over year and pretty much the same month over month. Stable is the new sexy. There's about a 10% gap between new home prices and resale prices, even though lot sizes and square footage stayed about the same. Buyers are still willing to pay more for newer, but it's getting closer. Homes sold were 853. That's up 15% year over year and up about 2.2% month over month. That's 5 straight months of gains. Resales are 5.7%, new construction down 5.2%. Buyers seem to be loving 1 to 5-year-old homes. Those are up 56.4%. 6 to 10-year-old homes are up 32%, and 11 to 20-year-old homes down 12.2%. Pending sales 1,279. That's going to be up 6.9% year over year and down 1.8% month over month. Here's an interesting twist. Resale pending sales fell 2.8%, but 35% of pending new home sales won't close until August 2025 or later. So we've got contracts, just not closing yet. Inventory, 2,126 homes. That's going to be up 27.2% year over year and up 0.2% month over month. There are now 23% more resale homes than new ones in inventory, consistent since April. In Meridian, Eagle, and Boise, there are more new homes sitting on the shelf than buyers seem to want, which sounds like a pricing or a product market fit issue. For days on market, we have 35 days. That's going to be up 6.1% year over year and up 2.9% month over month. Still pretty healthy overall. But homes under 1 year and homes 11 to 20 years old, they're taking at least 12 days longer to sell. Resale homes in popular age ranges are flying, others not so much. So here's what we're seeing. Sales are up, inventory is improving, prices are holding, but taxes, uncertainty, and economic vibes are making people think twice. As BRR President Elizabeth Hume said, a realtor can help you interpret the trends and make sure every move is a smart one. Get it? Preach. I agree. So if you're sitting on equity and wondering if now's the time to sell, let's talk before you get blindsided by the IRS. And if you're buying and wondering how to time it all with this noise, we'll find the right fit, not just the right price. So drop a comment, send a DM, or book a no-pressure chat with me. And hey, if this helped you, hit like and subscribe and share it with someone else in Idaho who needs to hear it. And don't forget, if you are loving this information and you would love to be connected to an agent in your area, I can also help with that. And that's it for this month's market report. I will see you in the next one.